Hello, beautiful people. It's Sindafam. Welcome to the channel. Today we're back again with another video. This is about Justin Bieber and Hailey, and this is from the channel Bopping. We're gonna check this together. The title looks quite interesting. It reads "Strict Rules Justin Bieber Makes Hailey Follow." Okay, we're gonna check it together, and I love your thoughts and your contribution in the comments below. Let's dive right in.
Justin and Hailey Bieber share an exciting dynamic in their marriage, which has kept them going until now. However, despite all the crazy moments they've had, both in public and privately, Hailey Bieber must do all these to keep it going. Justin Bieber has always spoken about his decision to practice celibacy before marriage, but behind the interviews and Instagram posts was a hard truth. Hailey Baldwin had to be ready to love Justin on his terms. Justin took a different path in a world where celebrity couples usually do whatever they want. After years of public scandals, heartbreaks, and moments of personal crisis, he chose to serve God first, which meant no intimacy until he was officially a husband. Hailey, who had fallen deeply for Justin, agreed to the new rules even though it meant navigating a relationship that wasn't precisely balanced. It's one thing to wait, it's another when the decision isn't mutual but necessary to be with the person you love. Also, Justin revealed how intimacy was a big problem for him, saying, "I think sex can cause a lot of pain. Sometimes people have sex because they don't feel good enough, because they lack self-worth. Women do that and guys do that. I wanted to rededicate myself to God in that way because I really felt it was better for the condition of my soul." But after meeting Hailey, with whom he shares Christian values, he realized he was ready, and some speculations revealed getting intimate was part of what sped up their marriage timeline. And looking at the bigger picture, it almost makes sense. After a reunion and an even faster engagement, they tied the knot in a quiet ceremony with barely anyone knowing. While their love story has been painted as a fairy tale, celibacy and the intense physical chemistry they were open about may have made forever much quicker. It's not something Hailey openly discusses now, but the hints are everywhere when you piece the timeline together. Even Justin admitted that once he met Hailey again, he felt a new kind of guilt when their physical attraction got strong, leading him to want marriage immediately, which isn't just for love, but for peace. As we dig deeper into the insane rules Justin had lined up for Hailey, it becomes clear that their love wasn't just about a perfect match, but about living up to a spiritual promise that came with real sacrifices. Every relationship faces its share of troubles, and Justin and Hailey Bieber's are no different. But while most couples fall into the trap of digging up old wounds during fights, Justin and Hailey made a pact early on: no weaponizing the past. Hailey first revealed this rule during her conversation with Ashley Graham on the Pretty Big Deal podcast, sharing how important it is for them to avoid throwing past mistakes into their arguments during heated moments. She said, "We don't try to poke at the past because I don't think that's fair and I've never liked it. I don't need you to remind me. I've had to work past it. Thank you. We don't point fingers." On the surface, it sounds like a mature and healthy boundary, but in practice, it's a lot more complicated, especially for Hailey, who lives in the shadow of Justin's public past that the internet refuses to let her forget. As much as
Sometimes I just think people are confusing some things because lots of people expect so much from celebrities and expect marriage or expect relationship to be the particular way that people or some people envision marriage to be, when most likely is different for different people. And I keep saying this, and we're going to say this over and over again. Everybody's marriage dynamic is not always going to be different. If you're in a relationship with somebody and the person is saying, oh, they are going the celibacy route, and let's say you're not comfortable with it, then I mean, it's you guys go both communicate, and maybe at that time you can come to a particular bridge and say, oh, I know if it's right for you, or if you want to go down that route, or if you're not ready to go down that route, or if you're not ready to pursue it. It's just communication, and sometimes knowing what works for both parties, because yeah, relationship people are going to compromise regardless, and obviously maybe both parties are compromising in the areas that they just need some little adjustment or little stretch. Maybe maybe but I'm not just gonna say that every marriage should have a one be all, that's the final manual to run the marriage course. That's not it.
she tries to build a fresh chapter with her husband, online trolls seem determined to drag her back into stories she never signed up for. And that's where another unspoken rule comes into play. In their home, Selena Gomez's name is forbidden. It's not about pretending history didn't happen, but protecting the fragile peace they've fought to build. Still, with every comment, every viral conspiracy theory, and every article dragging her into comparisons, it gets harder for Hailey to follow the rules she promised Justin. The temptation to lash out to bring the chaos of the outside world into their private life grows louder by the day. And as you find out more, you'll see just how much pressure Hailey carries to keep her marriage protected from a past that refuses to stay buried. With so much of Justin's past and the noise surrounding it staying on the internet forever, they decided to limit their use of social media. While it's nearly impossible to cut it off entirely, especially for two people whose careers thrive on public attention, Justin and Hailey created boundaries to protect their peace. Social media can be a powerful way to stay connected, but it has become a battlefield for Hailey. She's been open about the cyberbullying she's faced, with thousands of strangers picking apart everything from her marriage to her career. In 2018, she posted an emotional message on her Instagram story admitting, "It's hard to focus on your well-being and mental health when each time you open Instagram, someone is tearing apart your job or your relationship, or essentially any of the things in your life that are positive." The constant negative comments, especially those targeting her relationship with Justin, triggered what she described as immediate anxiety. To survive it, the couple started the rule: go off the internet when the noise gets too loud. In those moments, social media becomes less of a priority, and their mental health takes center stage. It's not just about throwing out hate, it's about choosing not to carry the world's opinion into their marriage. This rule has become a lifeline for them, especially for Hailey, who often faces public backlash. Still, the temptation to peek, scroll, and see what people are saying is always there, and it's a quiet battle Hailey has had to learn to fight even when curiosity creeps in. Setting limits on social media wasn't enough, as Justin and Hailey knew they needed even stronger boundaries if they wanted real peace in their relationship. That's how another rule came to life: no phones in bed unless necessary. It might sound simple, but for a young couple who grew up in the spotlight, detaching from their devices at night became a critical part of protecting their bond. In an interview, Hailey confirmed that the phones are put away once they get into bed. The idea is to create space for connection without the constant glow of screens pulling their attention elsewhere. For a couple
But is that wrong? Is that wrong? If no phones in bed, is that wrong? I don't think it is wrong. If that is what works for them, then it is fine. Oh my god. People, I just think that fans are just what? It's not that big of a deal. If this is what works for their marriage and what is gonna keep their marriage going, then fine.
constant glow of screens pulling their attention elsewhere. For a couple who had already dealt with the toxic effects of online hate, carving out this quiet time was more than just a romantic gesture, but for survival. Hailey admitted that instead of scrolling late into the night, she tries to make a conscious effort to read, choosing books over endless scrolling. And while it sounds ideal in theory, sticking to it isn't always easy. The habit of reaching for a phone after a stressful day or out of sheer curiosity never disappears, especially when the outside world awaits them with new headlines, drama, and new opinions. But Justin and Hailey clarified that the bed is a safe zone, a place for unwinding, reflection, and honest conversation. No outside noise is allowed. Over time, this small, intentional decision helped them create a nightly rhythm about each other, not the chaos waiting on the other side of the screen. In a relationship constantly under public scrutiny, even small rituals like this have become their secret weapon to keep their marriage strong from the inside out. While Justin and Hailey have built their relationship around mutual rules to protect their peace, Hailey wasn't afraid to establish a boundary of her own. Not long after their engagement in 2018, Hailey reportedly enforced a rule that caught some people off guard, restricting Justin from hanging out with Kourtney Kardashian. The timing wasn't random. Kourtney had split from her boyfriend, Younes Benjima, just weeks earlier, and old headlines about her rumored fling with Justin in 2016 started resurfacing. Back then, Justin and Kourtney had been spotted getting cozy at an LA nightclub, sparking a wave of dating rumors that neither of them rushed to deny. Some insiders claimed the two really connected on a soul level and even bonded over their shared faith, often seen attending church events together. It wasn't exactly old news, and even though the relationship fizzled out when Justin reconnected with Hailey, it left enough of a mark to make Hailey uncomfortable. Still, the situation was complicated. Hailey is famously close friends with Kendall Jenner, and Kendall happens to be Kourtney's sister. Drawing a line between family members in one of the most famous families in the world was no small move. Considering Hailey and Kendall's tightness, it almost feels ridiculous. But for Hailey, it wasn't about making things awkward with the Kardashians. It was about making sure no remnants of the past could creep into her future with Justin. In a life overflowing with complicated histories and constant public scrutiny, Hailey wasn't willing to leave anything to chance, even if it meant setting rules that made their circle a little smaller. Another rule that quietly shaped Justin and Hailey's relationship was starting a family young. It was a decision that, while made to look mutual, was very much Justin's vision from the beginning. Having children is a huge question for any couple entering marriage, and for Justin and Hailey, it wasn't something they left open-ended. From early on, Justin made it clear he wanted a young family, and Hailey, deeply in love and committed to building a future with him, got on board. In the 2021 Amazon documentary Justin Bieber, Our World, Hailey said, "We always talked about wanting to be married and be young and have a young family and have kids young. It sounded sweet and natural, but between the lines, it's clear that this path was more than just a shared dream. It was part of the blueprint Justin had been carrying for their life together." Even during the documentary, when the topic came up, Justin joked, "It's up to you, babe," trying to frame it like Hailey had the final say. But those who know the pressure of celebrity marriages and the specific expectations Hailey had been navigating could see that this was a goal they both were expected to meet.
I just think maybe that is up to you, babe, is because she's the one that is potentially gonna carry the baby, right? She's gonna do the 9 months. So if she's comfortable, why do people just love to read so much meaning or so many meanings to things that are not even? Is she complaining? No. If this is what works for their relationship, then let them just do it. Their relationship and others' relationship dynamics is not the same and will never be the same.
For a while, they teased it publicly without rushing. Yet now, with the recent arrival of their first child, it's obvious they stayed on track with their original plan. Having kids young wasn't just a casual conversation, it was another quiet but powerful rule that shaped how they timed their lives together. And as their story unfolds, it's clear that Justin's vision for their family life has guided their steps just as much as their love. Another important rule that Justin and Hailey built into their marriage was prioritizing family time no matter how busy their lives became. Between album releases, fashion campaigns, world tours, and constant public attention, it would have been easy to let family moments slip away. But for Justin and Hailey, making time for their loved ones wasn't optional, as it was a rule they decided early on would keep them grounded.
Better.
Just 2 months after they legally tied the knot in a quiet ceremony, they brought both sides of their families together for Thanksgiving, a
As it
gathering
should
that
be.
Justin himself hosted. It wasn't just about celebrating a holiday, it was about setting the tone for what kind of marriage they wanted, which is one rooted in connection beyond just the two. And they didn't stop there. Even as their schedules grew heavier, they carved out intentional moments to reconnect with family. In the summer of 2021, Justin posted a sweet photo of himself and Hailey surrounded by Justin's younger siblings, showing fans a softer side of their fast-paced lives. Hailey, who has always been close with her own family, also made it a habit to bring Justin along to church services, where they could catch up with her side of the family in a space that meant something more profound to them both. These gatherings weren't for show, they were a lifeline and a reminder of who they were before the fame, the pressure, and the noise. Even when it would have been easier to disappear into the chaos of celebrity life, Justin and Hailey fought to keep family at the center. It was a quiet rule that helped them stay anchored when everything else around them moved too fast.
I just think this is beautiful, and they are trying to embody a different side of marriage, or marriage in the right sense or right angle, because Hollywood itself does not promote marriage at all. They rather promote separation, divorce, and whatnot. And if they are bringing this side to say, okay, or they are trying to live like normal, regular people, then I'm here for it. I'm all for it, because yeah, we don't get to see this other side of Hollywood marriage apart from the divorce and the separation. And I just think everybody's relationship marriage dynamics is not the same. Forget the fact that they are celebrities or whatnot, but it's not the same. But beautiful though. And if this is what is keeping their marriage going on now, good for them. Good for them. And everybody needs rules, and this is the rules that work for their relationship then, and it's keeping it s- going good. I don't have an issue with it as long as both parties are happy and are comfortable with the rules. Good. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next